What's up, Sag? This is your girl, Just Jazzy. I'm here to do your December reading. This would have been for the week of the 11th through the 15th. However, got a new cat, so she's joining us. Anyways, however, last week was busy. It was like the kids' last week of school before winter break, and things just got really crazy towards the end of the week. So here we are. This is the week of what's today? The 18th through the 22nd. Okay, you'll get two readings this week because you'll get today and you'll get Thursday, right? Wednesdays are y'all's day for fire signs. Anyway, welcome. If you are not subscribed, please subscribe now. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. This is just an energy check-in. Things can change, flop. It's really just about where you're at right now. And, I pick for the future, but you can always change that energy up and have something else going on for yourself if you should decide, because you are the co-creator of your whole life, right? Anyway, this is my baby. This is my new baby. Oh, you can't even see her, but I think her name's gonna be Iris. I haven't made up my mind yet between like Iris and Sage. But I have gotten a third cat, so anyway. How are we doing? Like, as soon as I tap into y'all's energy, I just feel like it is hard for me to catch my breath. So maybe that's relevant for some of y'all. Spirit angels, ancestors, most high divine, I come to you right now just asking for energy of Sagittarius, asking that you help me to pull from their energy that and bring messages that will heal them and bring them to their higher selves. Ashe. As we spoke, Sag, you were like realizing that you were good without a certain energy. Some of you guys were holding on, right? Holding on to somebody who clearly is showing you that they don't love you, right? And sometimes that can hurt because sometimes we want to believe somebody loves us so bad, and sometimes they say they do. They sometimes treat us like they do, but pay attention to actions rather than words, okay? When you heal, when you learn to love yourself, you realize what true love really is, right? There's certain ways you just won't treat yourself. There's certain things you won't tolerate for yourself because you love yourself. So, as you heal and you grow, there's certain behaviors you'll look at and you'll be like, I no longer resonate with this. And the only reason that you once did is because maybe it reminded you of home. And this no longer is the kind of home that you want to create for yourself, For some of y'all, that's relevant. You got the Emperor at the bottom of the deck, Three of Cups, Page of Swords, the Star. It's looking good. Queen of Cups underneath, Queen of Wands over top. You are a badass. Then you got the Devil on top. These are things you're trying to break away from. Seven of Cups, the Tower, Three of Swords, Two of Cups. Yeah, honestly, Sag, where you're going is a good space. It's a better space than where you've been. It's going to hurt. The process, right, might hurt, but it's worth it, okay? The process is definitely worth it. There's a lot of illusions in this situation. Some secrecy here. Spirit is definitely encouraging you to take a leap of faith into something new, something fresh, I'm hearing. What is the past energy for Sagittarius, Spirit? I wish y'all could see my kitty. She's literally right here, but the camera just cuts off right there. Got the Ten of Wands and Strength. It's like it was a heavy burden, but you're trying to muscle through it anyway. You're trying to, it's giving like, you telling yourself that you're strong so that you can handle this. You're like, I'm strong, I can handle this. And I can get through this. And maybe that's because of the examples around you. So when I say that, I mean, like, for example, my culture, people, I was raised up around strong women. But what does that mean? That meant like I watched my mom, my aunts, my grandma, all these women around me. How do I say this? The ones who were married, they had to be strong. They had to take a lot of abuse, but they hung in there. They were resilient, or were they? Is that really resilience? Um, you know, like my mom, she was the main breadwinner often in her marriage growing up. She was the one working a lot, and my stepdad didn't. He worked for a while, and then he stopped, and he never after a while it was just all of my mom, you know. But my mom always worked. My mom had me when she was 19, and she always worked. She worked at Albertsons, Lucky's, for it used to be Lucky's. She worked there from 6 to midnight every night. um and she did that for years. I mean, that was just mommy's schedule for so long. And you know, after that, she had like 3 different jobs. She worked at like Jelly Belly. She worked at I can't even remember, but it was at one point she worked at like 2 or 3 different factories because she was trying to make sure we didn't lose our place, you know. And that's just what I mean when I say you have this idea of like, I'm strong. You have so much weight on you, so much responsibility, but you're like, I'm strong, I can do it. When really, life was never meant for you to do that shit by yourself, okay? So some of you guys I'm hearing could have like a family dynamic going on. You could have children, and you're carrying most of the weight, okay? For some of y'all, that's not the case. Some of you guys are just like the person who your family depends upon, and that's a lot on you. And you tell yourself that you can handle it because you're strong, but really, you're about to put all this shit down. You're carrying these wands to somewhere else, okay? Yeah, you got strength, but this is a healing card. Okay, you don't even know that you're about to walk into a healing situation, and that healing dynamic is going to mean that you put all those sticks down and you worry about yourself and put yourself first. Okay, um, you're not gonna have time because you're gonna be so broken from all the burdens. Okay, and I don't mean broken in a bad way. Sometimes, oh my God, these dogs. Sometimes we're broken in a good way, right? Janae Eiko says, you know, it takes your heart to break for it to be pieced back together and become whole again. Something along those lines. But it's like it's a breaking of cycles, really, a breaking of curses, a breaking of unproductive ideologies. You know, things that no longer work, that no longer serve you, that cannot serve you going forward, and can't serve your children. Your children need to see different, okay? Because this has been the cycle for too long. If you are a woman, like strong women working their asses off and doing most of the work, we are literally supposed to be here to create a home and to create love and to nurture and to upbring, right? We're here for that. Yeah, women want to work, and you should. Women have different callings, so we definitely should stand in our passions, right? Stand in our gifts. But we are also given a partner, right? Given an opposite sex dynamic to protect us, all right? Even if you're in a same sex relationship, we should have connections with both sexes, because, excuse me, men are here to protect us, all right? And then you have like feminine, masculine energy, fucking dogs, you know. And so that plays a role too. You know, it's not always male female, but the feminine role is meant to receive, right, and to be taken care of, whereas the masculine role is meant to be the givers, the protectors, the providers, right? So there has to be some balance here. I don't know who I'm talking to, but somebody needed to hear that. You guys are going to move forward from this anxiety. Oh my God, somebody has betrayal from somebody they're in a family dynamic with. I see you moving forward from this. Look at this. You got the Chariot, the Nine of Swords, the Ten of Pentacles, which is great, and then the Ten of Swords. So this is definitely an ending. You got 2 tens here, and then you got the Sun, and I really like that for you. I really like it for you, Sag. You're like no longer staying in this energy, and that's what I was telling you. Wherever you are, you're not gonna remain there. You're moving forward. It might take you some time to realize that you're gonna move forward, but you are. And whenever you do, once you finally decide to do it, oh my God, it's gonna feel like you can exhale, right? And that's that feeling that I felt in the beginning. I could not catch my breath. And some of you guys just feel so tight, so tense. You could be like having health issues. And it's literally from this dynamic that you're in. I'm sorry, my eyes are itching. Allergies. But you guys are like having these issues because you could be drained, you could feel sluggish, you could feel all those things because of this dynamic you're in. It's low vibrational. So once you come out of it, and some of y'all are staying in it because you're scared. You're scared of the heartbreak that comes with it. You're scared of like that pain and that process, but that is inevitable. It's inevitable. And I'll tell you, I'll be the first to tell you some things we can't avoid. Okay. I too, for so long waited. I waited like 11 years before I decided I'm leaving. Okay. And once I did, there's like a fly on my kid's plate. Sorry. I wanted to get off so bad. I'm gonna throw something at it. Sorry, y'all. This is a distraction. I really needed to get off. I'm gonna edit this out probably, or maybe not. Okay, maybe not. Dang, this is okay. Y'all are probably like, what is that? That's my water bottle that sprays my cats off my bed whenever I come in and they're on my bed. And I don't want them to be. They're not allowed on the bed. Anyway, listen, let me guys distract yourselves from what's really happening because you want to avoid the situation. But at the end of the day, it's inevitable. Like I said, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. I was just saying it took me a long time to, and everything I was trying to prevent as I was moving forward ended up happening anyway. You're going to have to face it. It's like your spirit knows what you're going to face and you're like scared. So you're like, no, 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 no. And then you start trying to do things to try to like make it easier on you and more peaceful and to avoid all of the pain. But you still go through it because you're meant to. That's part of your life's path, because that pain that you go through is going to change you and mold you into the person that you need to be. So sometimes we're trying to avoid a pain that we know we need to go through. Our spirit, our DNA already knows that it's on our path. It's a part of our journey. So there's just no way you're really going to avoid it. You know, I know that's the only way we can really avoid situations like this is like never putting ourselves in those kind of situations to begin, right? Angels, ancestors, spirit guides, most high divine. But even then, if you're still meant to learn those lessons, you're still going to eventually run into that lesson so that you can learn it. I feel like there's no right way down a path. Even if you take twists or turns, it's your path, and that's what you're supposed to do, because that's what you ended up doing, right? So what's the present energy for Sag? This is quick movement. This is like a message coming forward quickly. This is the Nine of Cups, and this is good. This is like you having a wish fulfillment and feeling happy and abundant by yourself. It's emotional fulfillment. It's not the Ten of Cups. It's the Ten of Cups is when you're with your family, right? You have your family dynamic. You have everything you want as far as like, it's like reaching that final goal. The Ten of Cups is like once you've gotten married, you have the house, you have the pets, you have all that stuff. And then the Nine of Cups is like once you've learned how to be independent on your own and gain self-love and all those things you do by yourself prior to creating a dynamic and meshing with another person, right? I just feel like you are currently in this present dynamic of it's like a quickening, okay, if that makes any sense to y'all. And I don't even know if I'm using that word right, but it just feels like a quickening in your spirit. It may not even be manifesting in the 3D yet, but you feel it. You feel like this strong urge, it's coming. You know, you feel it. You feel like this intense fast forward movement, and you know that it needs to happen. You feel this shift inside of you presently. And this shift is moving you towards self-love, Sag, which is great. This is beautiful. Yeah, some of you guys have experienced third-party energy. But either way it goes, you've experienced your heart being broken. And I'm hearing over and over again, you've experienced lies, illusions, betrayal. What is the future energy for Sag? bro. That didn't even take long. The sun and the what the fuck did I just tell you? What did I just say? I literally was just saying the Nine of Cups right before the Ten of Cups, because the Ten of Cups is when you have your family. This Sun card is the happiest card in the deck. What did I tell you? I was not lying to you. So you guys are on this mission, right? You're on this path to where you're literally headed towards full fulfillment and complete happiness. But it's going to take you to put these fucking burdens down. You went from the Ten of Wands to the Eight of Wands. It's like heavy burdens that you're carrying, that you're like, you're about to put this shit down, okay? You went from that in the past to presently. You only have 8 wands. So literally, you are slowly dropping these wands. And once you drop 2, fast forward movement. So for some of y'all, that's like actually like a literal number. Some of you guys have 2 things you need to let go of. I don't know if that makes sense to anybody, but there's like 2 of something. Maybe there's 2 situations that will happen. Maybe there's 2 things that will like come to light that will make you, push you fucking forward. I like it. I like it. So it's just this good energy. Yeah, you guys have like a real marriage and a passionate relationship coming. Could be with a Pisces or a Taurus. Okay, or another fire sign. You guys are coming out of this energy. Did y'all not see me at the beginning? I literally went through, if you didn't see me, rewind that shit. I literally went through all the cards and flipped them the right way. This card is flipped upside down, which means you're no longer bored. You're no longer over it. You're no longer in that place of just like wanting more, okay? Because you have all you want. Sag, get over the fucking fear of moving forward, because I'm trying to tell you, once you do, you're going to be so happy you did. So happy. Whoever has you in this stuck energy, making you feel like, and then also heal some childhood wounds, okay? This is like childhood freedom, right? Like you've healed those childhood wounds, your inner child, and now you're feeling free. Like as you heal that inner child, your family dynamic heals. Your children heal, right? This is that. This is that. Your light and your shadow balancing each other out and making you realize you're not supposed to carry all these burdens. Maybe unlearning what you learned as a child and what you saw as a child and realizing that you don't want that for yourself. Okay. What are the oracle messages for Sag Spirit? I'm going to show you this baby before I leave. Oh, I just went ahead and picked a whole bunch of... We're going to read them all. Not like it. I just like it because you didn't get that same one. Sorry, I have an itch right here. I just like it because you didn't get that same one that you got last week, which was like, don't be afraid to lose somebody who doesn't even want you. Start reclaiming who you truly are, right? Didn't I say that? I didn't say exactly that, but it's like, Sag, it's like reclaim who you are. Unlearn this shit that was programmed into you, because that's not you. That's not who you are. You're going to have to heal your inner child and learn who you want, or who you are. What do you want? What do you like? Right? Who are you? Claim that. Claim it. Maybe you don't like everything that you're trying to convince yourself that you do because that's how you was raised, right? It's giving like if you were raised up in a religious family, so you are now an adult and you're like, I'm Catholic. But really, you don't even believe half of that shit. So you're not really Catholic. Maybe you believe more spiritual things. Maybe you believe more Muslim shit. Like, your beliefs are like totally not the same as what you were brought up as. And that's okay. That's okay. That's who you are. Claim that. And whoever doesn't like that version of you, that this actual version of you, get rid of them. Get rid of them, because they are a part of a false paradigm. They're a part of like a false, what am I trying to say? Reality of who you are. That's not truly you. So they gotta go with that whole new, with the whole shifting that you're in. You have to get away from that and rebuild your soul tribe who fits who you are, so you feel safe and comfortable to be who you are. The hottest love has the coldest end. Maybe some of you guys can't leave this situation because you feel like, oh, you're reminiscing, and in the beginning it was so hot, so passionate, so intense. Bro, is it like that now though? Stop living in the past, Saj. Sometimes the strongest people in the morning are the ones who cried at night or cried all night. I mean, that's self-explanatory. Saj, this is that past energy. I mean, I feel like it's present too, but you know, I feel like I'm hearing they got one more again, right? Somebody got one more again before you're moving the fuck on. And I cannot wait for that for you, because you're in this energy of like just hurting, but trying to be strong through that shit. And Spirit's saying you don't have to. You want a person who comes into your life by accident but stays on purpose. Some of you guys are literally in a dynamic where like a person is staying with you out of obligation, if that makes any sense. Like when I was married, my ex-husband would act like he was so miserable, right? So I would be like, leave, then go, bye. And he would be like, I would if we weren't married and all this stuff, I would definitely. I just rolled my eyes because after I left, he was like, "Baby, please." Anyway, they say that shit right while they have you. They act like you're nothing. Like they don't give a fuck. Like they would rather be somewhere else. Okay, now that I'm not married anymore, now that I am dating and have put myself back out there, I literally tell my partner all the time, I could care less about marriage, right? I could care less about that fucking piece of paper that binds us together, because I was there before. And that was literally the reason I was given as to why this person wasn't leaving, because they felt obligated to stay because of that fucking piece of paper. Now, I want somebody who has no obligation to me, who has no bond, nothing binding us together, but they're choosing to stay every fucking day just because they love me. Just because they love me, and this is where they want to be, right? And so this is what this card is saying. Like, you want a person who comes into your life by accident but stays on purpose. You want somebody that you meet and it's beautiful, and they stay because they want to. Not because y'all got kids together, or y'all live together, you share a lease together, or whatever the obligations are. You have a car together, you have family connections, you work together, whatever the situation is. Okay, whatever the situation could be to make somebody feel obligated to stay with you. You don't want that. You don't want that. And life is tough, but so are you. This is giving the fucking fear that you have of moving on because you're scared of the pain. But guess what? You can handle that shit. That's a part of your inevitable soul lessons. Do you know how many arcanas came out? Major arcanas. We got 2 right now. We got a strength card in the sun. Those are 2 major arcanas, meaning you are going through a major life change right now. And these are things that are going to happen. Let it happen now rather than later, while you're younger, rather than when you get older. Live your life, right? Like I was so sad when I finally decided to leave, and I just kept thinking like, well, wow, I wasted at that time 11 years of my life, and I was like, that's a long time to waste. And I was thinking like, all my 20s are down the drain. I literally turned 30 like a week before my divorce was finalized. And so, I was over here thinking like, dang, my youth went with that. And while like I can't get my 20s back, I had like I've been having, because I'm only 34, I've been having a nice 30s, okay? My 30s have been nice, okay? It's been rough. I've had to learn a lot of lessons. I went through a divorce in my 30s. So, I've experienced some hard shit in the last few years. But aside from that, I've had a lot of fun just getting to know myself, loving myself, building myself. I literally put up a post last night that was like, to me, nothing means more and nothing feels better than being able to say, I bought this. I'm taking care of this. I paid this. I accumulated this because of my hard work, because of where I got myself. You know, you go through a period of time where you need help from people. Okay, that's okay. And you have things because people have given it to you. That's fine. But there's no better feeling than when you can say, I accumulated this. I did that, you know? And so, even though I went through a lot of shit these last 2 years, I got past it. I did that. I look at where I was and where I am now. I am in the suburbs with my kids in a city where a lot of people in Texas and North Texas wish they could move to. You know, like it's flourishing here. I, as a business owner, am flourishing with it. It's beautiful. Okay. It is like, it has been my dream, right? And 5 years ago, I was still married and I was trying to get us here. And then it came a point where it wasn't looking like we were going to be able to move here. I was thinking I might have to move out to San Antonio, somewhere south of Texas. Here we are. God said no. God redirected me and brought me back here. The devil tried to stand in my way, right? And tried to like move me off my path. And how about this? Just when the devil thought that they were winning, here I am. God has brought me back around. I mean, my route changed, but I still ended up right where I'm supposed to be. And that's what I was telling you earlier. There's no wrong path you can take. And when you have a lesson that you're meant to go and experience, you're going to experience it regardless. It's inevitable. You have to go through it, right? And I get it, because sometimes I see things coming. I'm like, oh my God, no, 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 no. I don't want to go. I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to deal with it. I'm like queen of that. Okay. I don't want to deal with it. I don't like the pain. I don't like the confrontation. You know, I've had to deal with a lot of court shit. And I remember I dealt with a lot of it when I was in my last trimester. I was literally like 9 months pregnant, about to give birth. I cried. I cried to my mom. I cried to my manager. I was like, I can't do this right now. I felt like I didn't have the strength. I felt like I'm about to give birth. This is too much. But I did it. I had to breathe and put my big girl pants on and focus and focus on what needed to happen. And I did. And that was a year ago, and here I am. You know, and so you guys are tough. Okay? You are tough. You're made for this. So I don't know if you need to meditate or what you need to do to get your mind focused for what's ahead, but you need to put your combat boots on. You need to put your warrior mask on. I'm so serious. I'm so serious, Sad. You don't have time anymore to worry about the fear that's going to come of what's going to come, the heartbreak you're about to experience. It's going to hurt. It might, anything that scares you is it's a sign of that's where you're supposed to go. That's the direction you're supposed to go in. Okay? You know, there's too many people that live this life and they wonder what if, because they never had the balls or the guts to do what their spirit was telling them to do, what they knew, what their intuition was always telling them to do. They never took the time to love themselves enough to go and do that, to go and follow that inner voice. Don't be that person. Because I said what I said about my 20s and being in my 30s, because I have so much more life to live. While I was sitting there at 30 thinking I wasted my 20s, I was also telling myself about how beautiful is it that when I do remarry, I have the rest of my life, or when I do find a partner or whatever, I have the rest of my life being only 30. Okay? Being only 30. Say I live to 70, that's 40 years. 80, that's 50 years. You know, if I should find a partner young in my life, I have so many more years. Sure, you wasted some years, but you have the rest of your entire life. Now, when you turn around and you look back at your life, when it's time for you to check out of this reality, you're going to look back and you're going to be like that little time's going to be so insignificant. That decade that I spent, that decade and a half that I spent with that individual literally was a catalyst that pushed me forward into the best years of my life. Yeah, that shit was painful, but I barely remember it because look at all these years I was living. I was traveling. I was doing all the things. I was celebrating with my person. If they didn't move out of the way, I would have never met my person. Do you understand what I'm saying? That's where you should be. That's where you're headed. You got to move this out of the way. I hope that resonated for somebody because you needed to hear it. Okay. I'll see you guys next week, next Thursday. Let me show you my baby before you go. She was asleep. She was asleep so good too. Hi, see home. She's all purring. Anyway, Sag. Bye, y'all. Y'all have an amazing Christmas and all that if you celebrate that. Happy winter solstice and all that. All right.